Hello and a very warm welcome to you on this edition of Business Africa. I'm your host, Afolake Onyiloye. The top stories this week. Could biomass solve West Africa's chronic power shortages? We'll be getting some answers from a leading energy company. What if farmers didn't have to worry about the uncertainties of weather? Insurance in Mali buys farmers the peace of not worrying about the weather. And counting the profits that are expected to follow the legalization of marijuana in Morocco. Ivory Coast is one of West Africa's major energy players, exporting power to Ghana, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Liberia. And yet, businesses recently raised an alarm over an expected 200 megawatt shortfall in power between April and August this year. Could alternative sources of power like biomass be a solution to chronic power shortages in this region? Let's find out shortly.
Major cities and critical industrial sectors across West Africa have been hit by power blackouts and rationing in recent months. Côte d'Ivoire, which generates the most electricity in the region, is managing a 200 megawatts shortfall that has affected its exports to neighboring countries like Togo and Burkina Faso. The other major energy distributor, Ghana, has also had its output reduced by the drop in water levels at its dams. The limited rains, coupled with coronavirus-imposed delays to work at a major thermal plant, are some of the reasons given by the Ivorian authorities for the power shortages. 75% of the nation's 2,300 megawatts is thermal energy, and the prevailing power shortages have reignited debate on alternative and climate-friendly energy sources. Solutions like Électricité de France's BioVia biomass plant in the country have thus become even more vital. The plant, projected to be the largest of its kind in West Africa, has very ambitious goals of utilizing waste from the country's palm trees and employing hundreds of people both during its construction and once operational. This biomass plant is highly anticipated across the energy-deficient region.
Valérie Levkov is the Africa Director of EDF. She joins us from France for more on that story. It's good to have you on the program.
Bonjour.
Now, West African economies have lately struggled with low power supply. How can biomass energy complement the already existing energy pool like hydro, solar, and wind to meet the region's energy and climate change control needs?
Biomass, as we do it in the Green Bio project, it is an energy that is available. Not only is it renewable, but it is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it is not linked to constraints, for example, climatic or sunshine constraints during the day and night. So it is really a contribution to energy service of the country, and it is a complement to hydraulic energy, solar energy, or wind energy. And therefore, in the energy mixes that I can know in West Africa, it really has its place. Today, we are talking about 46 megawatts. So it's a big project that requires, as I said, a lot of biomass input. But in all of West Africa that I know, there is this biomass potential.
You're about to operate West Africa's largest biomass plant. Tell us about the circular model, business model that you're using and the lessons you can share with other economies that would like to replicate this project.
It's a win-win for the planters. We're going to buy agricultural waste from 12,000 village farmers, and we're going to support them and improve their income by about 20%. We're going to create 1,000 sustainable jobs for over 25 years with economic benefits for the population and the local economy. It's a circular economy project, and it's replicable and applicable in other types of crops. So there, we are using the residues of palm agriculture. This could happen, for example, around cocoa agriculture, which is in large quantities in West Africa. We can also think of cotton. Of course, there are logistical aspects, but when industrialists and agro-industrialists get together, we can overcome the logistical and technical challenges of production. It is these projects, so for us, it is unique. Today, it is the largest, but it has a vocation of exemplarity and replication, not only in Côte d'Ivoire. I remind you that Côte d'Ivoire has a target of 42% renewable energy by 2030.
Now, agriculture is by far the single most important economic activity in Africa, providing employment to about 2/3 of the continent's working population and an average of 30 to 60% of GDP. What would it take to transform this agricultural activity in biomass energy?
What is needed to make transformative projects like this one is obviously to have a large quantity of these waste products from agriculture. I'll give you some examples for BioVA. We need a supply basin. We have a supply pool of 1.3 million tons per year, and we're going to use 480,000 tons per year. So we need plantings. So we're going to use large palm plantains. We also need to bring the Ministry of Energy, the Ministry of the Environment, and the technical aspects of biomass production to the table. And that, of course, is replicable on a large scale, because Africa, as you said, has a lot of potential in the field of agricultural waste.
Valerie Levkov, thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Farmers in Mali are taking part in an insurance scheme that has the potential to change the way in which weather risks are managed in agriculture across the entire African continent. Deforestation and desertification in the Sahel are enormous threats to agriculture. But what if farmers and their produce was insured against any such losses resulting from these natural factors that they can't control? And that is what this story is all about.
100,000 hectares of forest are lost every year in Mali, according to the country's environment ministry. Where trees disappear, the desert sets in, devastating agriculture and soil fertility. Bala Togola is the president of a cooperative of maize producers. To prevent losses from bad weather, the farmers have sought a new crop insurance scheme that's revolutionizing the insurance market in Africa. I insured 10 hectares last year for 45,000 CFA, and I was compensated 460,000 CFA. This year, I have insured 15 hectares. Launched in 2018 by a Franco-Luxembourg startup, the service partners with telecoms so producers can buy insurance on their phones without needing an internet connection. Each village corresponds to a specific point in our calculations. And for each of these villages, there is a specific price that exists per crop and per village. So we use satellite data to observe from a distance the amount of rain that's fallen in each village. And if we notice that there's a lack of rain or too much rain, we compensate the producer according to the loss he must have had because of this lack of rain. In Mali, 80% of the population depends on agriculture. But in recent years, losses arising out of crop failure have been increasing. We wanted to launch in Mali to bring this innovative solution to small farmers who are in the most remote areas of the country, so that they can have a service that's here to provide them with the financial security in case of climate changes. The UN lists countries in the Sahel as being on the front line of climate change, which has worsened poverty and driven conflict and displacement.
The business community in Morocco is set to reap big from a landmark bill that would legalize non-recreational uses of marijuana in the country. From businesses that create beauty products to textile industry and marijuana farmers themselves, the historic legalization has the potential to transform the fortunes of many in this North African country.
From serums to creams, soaps to shampoos, CBD oil is appearing in a wide range of beauty products. CBD, short for cannabidiol, is one of many chemicals found in cannabis, a plant known more commonly as marijuana. When we say cannabis, we directly think of drugs or cigarettes, but on the contrary, it has many benefits. For example, cannabis oil is very important for hair growth and also gets rid of dandruff. I've been using it for 2 years, and it's given me good results. On June the 14th, Morocco's House of Representatives approved a bill that will legalize non-recreational use of marijuana. When approved, the law would authorize medical, cosmetic, and industrial uses. Hafida is owner of Ndra Ainja, a cooperative located 12 kilometers north of the city of Tetuan. In 2017, the cooperative began the production of CBD cosmetic products, including shampoo. Before, it was difficult to obtain cannabis seeds, but today they're available either regionally or nationally. They're available in the markets, especially during the summer, because it is the harvest season of these seeds, where we can have large quantities. 300 kilograms of seeds are bought from local farmers annually. Morocco would be one of the few countries in the region or in the Arab world to legalize the drug for non-recreational use. Recreational use would remain illegal. Industrial use of CBD is expected to help farmers and create more jobs for workers in the industry.
And that's all we had for you this week on Business Africa. I hope you've been inspired, as I have been, by Biomass solution in Ivory Coast, the freedom insurance gives to farmers in Mali, and the possibilities that legalizing marijuana opens to Moroccans. As always, share your feedback with us on our social media networks at Africanews and Africanews FR. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.